everyone. Thank you for joining us in person or online on our YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate you taking the time out this evening and attending our citizen information session. I am Desiree Patrick. I am the Community Relations Director and Public Information Officer here for the county. And tonight we are going to have a few guests speak with us about their departments, their highlights, their updates, programs, initiatives, and so forth. So we're going to get a welcome from our County Manager, Brent Trout. Once he finishes, we will get an update from Travis, who is with our Sheriff's Office, and then we will go into Emergency Services with Alex. In our Budget Office, Lisa will speak about the CIP that we have. And then we will conclude with questions. So these are our rules, and I'll have Brent come up before I speak.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. We're excited these three topics, and I look at them as two that are critical for our operations within our county on a daily basis, and then one which is really looking, the last one, our CIP, is really looking at the future for our county and the things that we have planned, the infrastructure that we need to support, and then also just some of the everyday things that we need, such as replacing vehicles and some of those functions that we have to do. So excited to hear what they'll bring to you tonight, and appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
All right, so if you did not know, we do have a monthly electronic newsletter. If you wish, you can scan the QR code if you're on your laptop or computer with your smartphone, or you can go to our website and you can go to the Public Information Office page and you can subscribe there. If you also did not know, we offer a one-pager newsletter in each of our library branches and our resource center and library building that is offered at the information desk, and we have various copies throughout the building as well. Our Board of Commissioner meetings, they are offered in person and virtually on our YouTube channel. Once we have a regular meeting, I also offer a recap, which is a shorter 5-minute or less video about what the meeting was about. And our Emergency Services offers a RAVE, which is our emergency and severe weather notifications. I would suggest you to subscribe to receive those alerts. You can go to the Emergency Services page on our harnett.org, or you can go to the search bar and click RAVE, and it will pull up for you to register. Please know that if you do not register for the alerts, you will not receive them. So I do suggest you to register. And we also have various social media channels, and you can please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or if you know it as X, Instagram, and then our YouTube and Nextdoor, and then our website, www.harnett.org. So we just published our year-end review, so you can view this on our website. It is on our homepage under the What's New section. You can also find it on our Board of Commissioners pages and the Public Information Office page. And then just a few updates. District 4, they do have a new commissioner who was Duncan Edward Jaggers. Our Register of Deeds office has recently launched a new Think of That program that offers Harnett County veterans a discount to local businesses. So if you go to the Register of Deeds website, you will be able to see more information about if you qualify, how you can sign up for this initiative and such. And then our Department of Social Services Low Income Energy Assistance Program application process is now open for priority groups who are individuals ages 60 and above or disabled receiving services from Division on Aging and Adult Services. And just so you are aware, with the upcoming holiday, we will be closed on December 24th, 25th, 26th, and January 1st. So I'm going to welcome Travis to come speak with us.
Thank you. Excited to present to you a couple things that we've changed in the 911 Center. First off, my name is Travis Essick. I'm the Communications Center Manager. We do work under the direction of the Sheriff, so we are part of the Sheriff's Office. Some call stats from 2023, 78,832 911 calls, 9,233 abandoned 911 calls, That means that the caller dialed 911 and disconnected before we answered it. With those abandoned 911 calls, that's 9,000 calls that we have to make to call back to a caller to see if they need help. And then 82,561 admin calls. Those are our 10-digit non-emergency number calls that we received. So far for 2024, 67,839 911 calls, 6,329 abandoned calls, and 79,325 admin calls. Again, all 6,000 of those abandoned calls we have to attempt to call back to see if there is an emergency. I can tell you that 67,000 of those calls, out of 67,000 of those calls, 1,400 were during 48 hours of Hurricane Helene that we took on Rutherford County's 911 calls in a 48-hour period. Our structure in the 911 center, we have 23 FTE positions. This includes 4 shift supervisors. We have 1 shift supervisor that is assigned to each shift. 4 administrative staff, myself, a administrative assistant, training officer, and a systems administrator that handles our CAD and phone systems, that sort of thing. Our minimum staffing, 24/7, 365, is a minimum of 5 people per shift. So at all times, there's 5 radio operators working on the floor. Obviously, we're here should you need us for emergencies, 911. We can also do text now. Anywhere in the state of North Carolina can accept a text to 911. If you can't call us and you need to text, you open your text box like you're going to dial a 7-digit number. Instead, you just type 911 and send your message and it comes to us. For 911, these calls we try to say that they're an immediate threat to person, property, fire, or EMS-related incident. And our non-emergency number is something that we changed last month. We added a direct number into the 911 center for non-emergency. It's on the screen there, 893-0286. The 9111 or 893-9111 number still does work, but the 0286 number bypasses the phone tree during the day and rings directly to the comm center. Non-emergency, these are your fraud, past events, or just simply a question for law enforcement. The Harnett County 911 Center receives all calls for the entire county. This includes the Sheriff's Office, Andrew Coates, Lillington, Irwin, and Dunn PD, all county fire departments, EMS, and emergency management, and also the after hours for Department of Social Services, Animal Control, and those departments. So recent changes that we've implemented, I told you about the new non-emergency number. We implemented a phone system that's called Automated Call Distributor, and it prioritizes our calls. It gives them to the call taker who's been off the phone the longest and basically puts them in a queue. So if you dial the 0286 number or the 893-9111 number and you get an automated recording that says we're experiencing high call volume, we are in fact experiencing high call volume. But it puts the call in a queue and will be answered by the next available call taker. The same thing for 911. If you dial 911 and they're all busy, you may hear a greeting that says, "You've reached Harnett County 911, we're experiencing high call volume, please don't hang up," okay? But what that's doing is it's triaging those calls and always getting 911 calls answered first, okay? We also have the ability to FaceTime with a caller. So if you dial 911 and we call you back and you don't answer, we're gonna attempt to send you a text message if you call from a cell phone. In that text message, there's a link that we have the ability to FaceTime with a caller if we need to see something that they're encountering. New in 2025, I am extremely excited to announce that our remodel is happening in the first quarter. The 911 Center is in the same room since 2009 when the Sheriff's Office moved to that building. The furniture was outdated and it was time for a remodel. So that's coming, and then also I'm excited to announce that the 911 Center is getting a therapy K9 that should be here sometime in January. Other than that, I will take any questions that anybody has. My contact information is here, my email address, and my direct number if you should have any questions or need anything after this. All right. What?
All right, good evening. My name is Alex. I'm with the Harnett County EMS, I'm the Division Chief. I also serve as the EMS System Administrator for Harnett County. So just a little bit about where we came from to where we are now. Harnett County, or Harnett Ambulance Service started in 1978 to provide countywide ambulance service to the citizens after the local funeral home decided to stop transporting the sick and injured to the hospitals. The original Harnett County Ambulance building was over at the Daymark Mental Health Facility on 421, and it was relocated to a more modern building that sits directly behind it that we still have units in today. In the early days of EMS in Harnett County, here are the local squads that covered all of the county, some of which are no longer in service, but a number of these still provide EMS coverage today. And it is worth noting that Irwin Rescue was the first to start in the 50s, and they're, like I said, they're still in business today. Here's a map of the county that shows kind of where all of our EMS units are. It's kind of difficult to see on here, but in all the different areas where you see the colors, there's black writing, and there's ambulances in those different locations. The state of North Carolina recognizes different certification levels for EMS, starting at EMR or emergency medical responders, and it advances through to paramedics. And there are different things that each level can do, but ultimately the paramedics are the most trained, they're the most equipped to do advanced procedures and invasive procedures, where your EMRs or EMTs, they're pretty much trained to do immediate life-threatening skills and some basic medicines such as aspirin, Benadryl, things of that nature. So within EMS, we have multiple divisions. First, we have the Community Paramedic Division. They attempt to reduce the hospital readmissions by working closely with frequent or high utilizers. They also are heavily involved with the post-overdose response with the opioid task force team. And then we have a compliance division that pretty much reviews all of our cases and ensures that everybody is doing things like they're supposed to, following policies and procedures. I kind of think of it as like the quality assurance department at the meat processing plant. You want to make sure that your meat is coming out is top notch, and that's our compliance division. They make sure that our providers are doing things like they're supposed to. Next, we have a logistics division, which is tasked with making sure we have all our supplies ordered, uniforms, all of our equipment is in working order. Then we have training. They provide all of our field providers with their necessary continuing education. So once you go through your initial EMS class, the training does not stop. Each level, the state requires us to have a certain number of hours within a credential period, which is 4 years. So paramedics, you have to have 120 hours of continuing education every 4 years to maintain your credential. Next, we have our operations division, which is split out across 3 shifts. So we provide 24/7 coverage. Let's see, in 2023, the 911 response, we responded to 26,810 emergency-related calls, and that's with 14 ambulances across the county. That's all paramedic level ambulances. And then we have a non-emergency division, which consists of 3 BLS ambulances, and they responded to 8,152 transports in 2023. And those are the ones that take patients to and from doctor's appointments that are bed-bound. They do hospital-to-hospital transports, take people back to the nursing homes and things of that nature. And then we do have a wheelchair driver that handles wheelchair calls Monday through Friday. The only difference between them and hearts is we can actually assist the patients. We can also administer oxygen, where hearts is just a door-to-door service or curb-to-curb service, excuse me. And all of this is possible because we have our medical direction. So we have two medical directors. We have Dr. Miller, and then we have PA David Cowan, both of which are credentialed paramedics and both have functioned as paramedics in the past. So our providers also have the ability to do some extra things other than responding to calls. We have a heavily involved tactical paramedic team, which assists law enforcement on some of their missions to provide care to the officers and potential patients. We have competed in the state paramedic competition for a number of years, and I'm happy to say that for 2024 we are the North Carolina state champions, and then we are also part of the Harnett County Search and Rescue team. And then on top of that, we engage in the community anytime we can by attending special events, teaching CPR first aid to anybody who was interested in that. And if you're interested in learning CPR first aid, there's a contact person, which is Kenny. He is one of our training captains, and there's his telephone number and email. And then for getting in touch with our community paramedics for post-overdose response or wanting assistance for anyone that may fall frequently or visit the emergency room on a routine basis, there's their contact information as well. And with that, there's my information, and I think questions are at the end. Lisa?
Okay, my name is Lisa McFadden. I'm the budget director for the county. And one of my jobs is to prepare the capital improvements plan for all our departments, the county's schools, and Central Carolina Community College. So we put together a capital improvements program every year in the fall, and this just basically gets all our capital projects into one location. And it's just a systematic way of planning and budgeting for our capital projects over a 7-year period. It helps link our strategic goals to our long-range plans. And our CIP projects, in order to become a recommended project, we have to be able to know how we're going to fund those projects. And our goal is to always fund our projects up front. And we're not sure if we're going to be able to do that until we start putting together our operating budget each spring. And sometimes we have projects that come up that we know are important that we're going to have to fund, but at this time we may not know how we're going to pay for it, what all the costs are, or the entire scope of it. So we identify those as future projects. When we start developing our funding plan, we always want to make sure that we're going and applying for all the grants that we can. And one of the things that we do for our projects is once we identify a project, we're going to start setting money aside in a capital reserve fund. So when the time comes, we're able to pay for that project. And so that reserves our debt capacity for larger projects like schools and animal shelters. So in our capital improvements plan, we've got projects divided into groups. They're current, new, and future. Our current projects are our current ongoing projects that have already been approved and are in our CIP. The new recommended projects, those are the ones that have not been included in the CIP just yet. They may have just started, but we're adding them to the CIP this year. And then again, our future projects. And the way I'll go through this presentation, it's by the departments, and we've got them all kind of grouped together of what their status is. So the animal shelter, that's currently in plans right now. We're still looking at for the land. That should be finalized soon, and it should go out for design between March and June of this year, or in 2025. Broadband expansion, that has started phase 2, and that's going to address the western side of the county. For Board of Elections, the facility replacement or renovation, that's going to be a future project. We're still working on where that building is going to be located. Central Carolina Community College, the current project, or one that's going on right now, the HVAC system replacement in one of the buildings, and then the next two are, they're approved projects, but they're renovation projects in the Mariello building and the Etheridge building, and those are scheduled for 2027 and 2030. The future project is repair a drainage system at the Lillington campus. For cooperative extension is to construct an educational kitchen and develop the site master plan and begin the design phase for the farmers market. The courthouse shelf space upfit, which is a future project. Department of Social Services, the second floor upfit, that should be completed this month, and that's gonna be for administrative offices. Development Services, they're currently working on the comprehensive land use plan, and the new project this year is to construct a road extension in preparation for the new Highland High School. For emergency services, our current projects is to replace all the EMS cardiac monitors in fiscal year 2027. For the transport unit replacements, we've replaced one of those each fiscal year. The CIP also includes 8 remounts over the next 7 years, and to replace 4 ambulances over the next 7 years. We're also going to construct a county morgue and replace all the EMS stretcher and power load equipment in fiscal year 2031. Also in emergency services, we're going to construct 2 Viper radio towers on county-owned land in fiscal year 2032. One will be in Angier and one will be in Spout Springs. Fleet maintenance is a new project, and that's going to add a 40 by 80 metal building addition to the current facility. For Hearts, we're going to replace 6 transit vehicles over the next 7 years. For Harnett County Schools, the early college at Dunn renovation project, that will be completed by April or May, the windows replacement. Also building a child nutrition freezer facility, construct Flatwoods Middle School, adding a new gym addition at the Lillington Shawtown Elementary School, and to continue contributing $1.4 million to the Maintenance and Replacement Fund. The new recommended project for Harnett County Schools is to replace the rubberized tracks at Western Harnett High School, Triton, and Harnett Central. Overhills had theirs replaced 2 years ago, so they should be okay for a couple of years. Harnett County Schools, the future projects, again, we know these are important, and we do have these on our radar. It's Bowie's Creek Elementary School to construct a custodial and grounds warehouse, to build a new early college career technology center in the Lillington area, a new Flatwoods Elementary School, a new Highland High School, upgrade the stadium lighting at all 4 high schools, to build a transportation maintenance facility, and to build a new gym addition at Triton High School. At the jetport, the current projects are to replace the fuel tanks and to extend the runway by 500 feet. The future project is to construct corporate hangars for larger size aircrafts. At the Sheriff's Office, the current projects are a body scanner system for the detention center and a new generator that will run the entire building. Future projects is to build a new evidence storage and crime scene processing bay and to construct a housing unit addition at the detention center. For the IT department, to upgrade the core storage equipment and server equipment. These are on a reoccurring basis every 4 to 5 years. For Parks and Recreation, the current projects, Neals Creek Park restrooms, concession stand, Neals Creek Park Development Phase 1, that's going to include a few more amenities, the parking lot, trails, sidewalks. The Boone Trail Park is to rebuild the entryway monument. Cape Fear Shiner Park is to construct a playground, picnic shelter, and restroom facility. The Northwest Harnett Park is to develop a site master plan and begin development of Phase 1. And Patriots Park is a new restroom facility. For the new projects being recommended is to replace the playground equipment at Anderson Creek Park and to construct new park amenities at Boone Trail Park, and this one will be in fiscal year 32. For the future projects for Parks and Recreation is to continue the development of Anderson Creek Park, as well as the Boone Trail Park, and also to develop a new park in the Bun Level community. For the public libraries, for the new projects, we're recommending a bookmobile and to purchase and install the RFID equipment which tags the books for better inventory, self-checkouts. And the future project is to continue looking at library services in the western part of the county. And for solid waste is to construct the roadway staging area for trash and recycling, and that's phase 1 of the convenience center. And that's all I have.
All right. So I want to thank you again, everyone, for taking your time out and joining us tonight, either here in person or virtually on our YouTube channel. We're going to take this time to, we don't have any questions online? No? Okay. We don't have any questions. So again, we are always here to serve you all, and we hope you have a safe and happy holidays. And if you need any of us, you can contact us. All of our information is on our Harnett County website, which is www.harnett.org. Have a wonderful week.